The welcome 2026 back to World Bike 55. Today we are taking a detailed look at a motorcycle that could become one of the most exciting additions to Royal Enfield's modern adventure and scrambler family at the expected 2026 Royal Enfield Scram 450. If Royal Enfield brings the powerful 452cc Sherpa platform into a lighter, more compact Scram package, this could be a motorcycle designed to combine everyday practicality, strong road performance, rugged styling, and genuine light adventure capability in one machine. Before we get into the details, there is one important point to understand. At the time of this review, the 2026 Scram 450 has not been officially confirmed with final production specifications and pricing. Therefore, some details in this video are based on Royal Enfield's existing Sherpa 450 technology and the company's current Scram philosophy. The final production motorcycle, if launched, could have different specifications, equipment, colors, or pricing. Starting with the engine, this is where the expected Scram 450 becomes especially interesting. The biggest attraction is the possibility of using Royal Enfield's modern 452cc liquid-cooled Sherpa single-cylinder engine. In the Himalayan 450, this engine produces around 40 PS of maximum power and 40 Nm of maximum torque, giving it a major performance advantage over the older Scram 411 platform. Royal Enfield describes the Sherpa engine as a flexible power plant designed to deliver usable performance across the rev range rather than only chasing peak numbers. For a Scram-style motorcycle, that character could be extremely useful. Instead of making the bike feel aggressive only at high RPM, the strong mid-range torque could make city riding easier, highway acceleration stronger, and rough road riding more controlled. Imagine opening the throttle while exiting a corner or climbing a rough section of road and having a healthy wave of torque available without constantly searching for the perfect gear. That is exactly the type of performance that would suit the Scram concept. The expected 452cc engine would also bring liquid cooling, dock technology, 4 valves, electronic fuel injection, and a modern 6-speed gearbox. These technologies already exist within Royal Enfield's Sherpa-powered motorcycles, making them a logical foundation for a future Scram 450. The 6-speed transmission should give the motorcycle a useful combination of low-speed control and relaxed cruising. The sound and character would also be an important part of the experience. Royal Enfield has always understood that buyers are not interested only in numbers. They want a motorcycle with personality. A single-cylinder engine has a distinctive mechanical character, and the Sherpa platform offers a much more modern interpretation of that traditional Royal Enfield feeling. In the city, the Scram 450 could be particularly appealing. A motorcycle like this does not need to be enormous or intimidating to be enjoyable. A relatively compact riding position, upright ergonomics, wide handlebars, and a manageable chassis could make it comfortable in traffic. The rider would have a good view over surrounding vehicles, while the upright position should reduce fatigue during longer rides. This is where the Scram name becomes important. The Scram concept sits somewhere between a conventional road motorcycle and a full adventure motorcycle. It is not necessarily designed to replace a dedicated adventure machine. Instead, it is intended to give riders the freedom to leave the perfect pavement whenever the road becomes rough, broken, dusty, or simply more interesting. The expected design of the 2026 Scram 450 would likely follow this philosophy. We can expect a compact, muscular appearance rather than the tall, heavily equipped look of a traditional adventure bike. The front section could feature a round or modernized round-inspired headlight, a short front fender, a relatively compact fuel tank, a wide handlebar, and protective bodywork designed to emphasize its rugged personality. One of the most attractive aspects of the Scram concept is that it can look adventurous without becoming visually complicated. Royal Enfield has generally kept its motorcycles recognizable, and a future Scram 450 could continue that tradition with the simple silhouette combined with modern details. The fuel tank would likely become one of the major styling elements. A sculpted tank with strong side panels could give the bike a muscular appearance while allowing the rider to move around naturally when riding on rough surfaces. The side panels could carry bold Scram graphics, while the overall bodywork could be finished in contrasting colors to create a more youthful appearance. The seat is another important part of the design. A Scram motorcycle needs to work for everyday riding, so the seat should ideally balance comfort and control. Compared with a tall adventure motorcycle, a Scram-style machine could offer a more approachable seat height. This would make it easier for riders to manage the motorcycle during traffic stops, parking, and slow-speed maneuvers. The chassis would also play a major role in determining how this motorcycle feels. Royal Enfield already uses a strong steel architecture across its modern adventure motorcycles, and a future Scram 450 could use a modified version optimized for its shorter, more road-focused mission. Suspension is where the expected Scram 450 could separate itself from ordinary street motorcycles. A long travel setup would allow the motorcycle to absorb potholes, broken pavement, gravel roads, and mild trails much more effectively. The exact suspension travel is not confirmed for a Scram 450, but Royal Enfield's current Scram 440 has 190 mm of front travel and 180 mm at the rear, showing the direction of the platform. That means this motorcycle would not be limited to perfect roads. You could imagine riding through a city during the week, taking the bike on a weekend highway trip, and then exploring a gravel road or countryside route without feeling like you are using the wrong motorcycle. Wheel size would also be important. The existing Scram formula uses a 19-inch front wheel and 17-inch rear wheel, a combination that provides a useful compromise between road handling and rough surface stability. A future Scram 450 could continue with a similar configuration, although the final specifications would depend on Royal Enfield's engineering decisions. Tires would naturally be dual-purpose. They would need enough road grip for normal commuting while also providing confidence on gravel, dirt, and loose surfaces. The ideal setup would not be an extreme off-road tire because the Scram 450 would still be expected to spend a significant amount of its life on asphalt. Braking performance should also receive attention. Royal Enfield's current Scram platform uses a 300 mm front disc with a 2-piston caliper and a 240 mm rear disc, along with dual-channel ABS. A Sherpa-powered Scram 450 would likely need similarly strong braking hardware, particularly because the larger engine would give the motorcycle greater acceleration capability. ABS would be especially useful for everyday riding because road surfaces are unpredictable. One moment you can be riding on clean asphalt and the next you can encounter sand, water, loose gravel, or an unexpected obstacle. Modern electronic safety systems can provide an additional layer of control,